Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope we're all having a great day today and everyone is staying safe. So this video I kind of want to talk about Nøkk for a bit, and specifically a way that I think they should change her. So this kind of stems from the video I made yesterday where I done an Ask Kudos video, which is a old series that I used to do. Only ever made one episode of it, and I brought it back yesterday. And yeah, a lot of people seem to enjoy that, and I'm definitely going to be making more of them, probably on a weekly basis. And but yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well, and I'll continue that series. But one of the questions in that video was regarding Nøkk, and kind of how the issue that Nøkk has in this game is that she doesn't really bring much to the board. She doesn't bring a lot of utility, whether that's for herself or the team. She does not have a great loadout, and there's not really a big idea and much point in picking her. Okay, so for you guys who don't know, Nøkk actually has a gadget where once she activates it, she is invisible to cameras when she is walking and crouch walking. But if she starts to run or start shooting, it actually kind of shows her a tiny bit, but it's very glitched, so you can't see exactly where she is, but you see some sort of little muffled effect when you're looking at the camera. So you can definitely know and pick out that there is a Nøkk there if she is doing that. And I think what we found between Nøkk and Vigil, when they have very similar abilities where they're immune to cameras when they're using their gadgets, that Vigil, it just works so much better for a defending operator such as Vigil than it does for an attacking operator such as Nøkk. And I think that's for a number of reasons, because basically when you're attacking, practically all the cams are default and you know where most of them are going to be. Now granted, it does come in handy if they have a Valkyrie, Echo, bulletproof cameras, Maestro, so there are instances where a Nøkk could actually win you a situation if they can't be found on any of those cams. For example, if Maestro's playing on his camera and he's holding the hallway on it and you walk past and he has no idea whilst he's sitting on that camera and he can't see you at all, and you can sneak past and kill him, that is a great instance of where Nøkk is like working and she's doing what she can. But we've had her in this game for almost a year now, and I think we've all realised that it just does not play out like that most of the time. Now, I have been playing Nøkk quite a lot recently, mainly just because I'm trying to have fun with operators I don't really play with, and there definitely are issues with Nøkk. So definitely one of the big issues is just her gadget does not bring a lot to the team, and it doesn't do much. There's 26 operators in this game, if I'm not wrong, on each side. So 26 on attack, 26 on defense. I might be wrong about that number, but there are a lot of operators to pick from in this game, and when you have to limit that to 5, no way in a ranked match when you're trying to win do I think that Nøkk gets a priority over any other operator in this game. She just does not bring enough utility into this game that would exclude another operator and say let's take Nøkk over her. And that's definitely true, because she doesn't bring much utility, so you'd obviously pick another operator like Thatcher or any other operator that has better utility. And then she doesn't have a lot of fragging capability because she's not got the best weapon in the game. She has the FMG-9, which is the SMG that Smoke has. Now they actually did buff this SMG a few updates ago, and it is actually not that bad a weapon. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it's a terrible weapon. It is actually a pretty decent weapon. But does that outweigh everything else? No, because if I want to go fragging, I'll just play Ash. She has a much better weapon than Nøkk has. I'll play IQ. She has a better weapon, and she has more utility than Nøkk has. And yeah, it just comes down to the fact with Nøkk is a cool concept, but I think we found at this point that she just does not work. Or she does work, but it just isn't useful, and it's way too situational, just like her counterpart Warden when they both came out in Operation Phantom Sight. Now, if I was going to start trying to improve Nøkk, the first thing I would look at is her loadout. So she has the FMG-9, which is Smoke's SMG. She also has the 612 SD, which is Ying's shotgun, I believe. Ying and Legion have the same shotgun, but one of them's suppressed off default. and I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm pretty sure it's Ying's one that she has. She also has the 5.7 USG, which is the FBI secondary weapon, but obviously that gets, you know, pushed to the side because she also has the D50, which is the Deagle, which Blackbeard and Valkyrie have. So for secondary loadouts, she's got a pretty good set. You know, the Deagle's a great weapon, especially since they've updated it and you can put barrels on it now, and you know, it's a lot less recoil. It's just a really good gun, a lot better than it used to be. But it comes to her primary weapons where there is an issue, and you know, it's mainly the FMG9, because the shotgun, you're rarely going to see people use a shotgun unless they're memeing. So when we play Nøkk and you're actually trying to win and you're really focused on winning, you're most likely going to be using the FMG9, and it just doesn't really work well for Nøkk. You know, she's an attacker and she's a 2-speed for some reason. I don't think she should be a 2-speed. I think she should be a 3-speed. As well as this, I think they should remove the FMG9 from her and give her Vigil's K1A. And I did say yesterday in my Ask Kudos video that she should have ACOG on it, but if I'm going to be honest, if I was going to play Nøkk with the K1A on attack, I would probably use holographic over ACOG, because she's in more of like the lurking role. She sneaks in, you know, you like to take more close range battles than ACOG battles. But that is definitely what I'd do for Nøkk. I'd look at changing her loadout. It doesn't have to be the K1A, but I think Get Flanked made quite a good tweet the other day, and he's basically said it's a bit crazy that Bandit has a better gun than Nøkk, and I gotta agree with that, because, you know, Bandit's got really good utility that's pretty much necessary for most defenses, unless you bring a Cade or a Mute or something. But Bandit does have an extremely good gun, which I think they probably are going to nerf soon, but we'll just have to stay tuned and see what they do with the MP7. But it is true that Nøkk really just does not have a great loadout, so I would definitely look into giving her Vigil's K1A, as that would be something interesting. You know, Vigil has that. Vigil has a similar ability. It's going to make her more in line with Vigil. Granted, I'd say Vigil still has the upper hand because he's on defense, and attackers have to drone out and clear the building before they enter. And Vigil, you know, you can't see exactly where Vigil is, so that is a very powerful tool in Vigil's case. So I definitely think this gadget in general is better for Vigil than it is for Nøkk, purely because of the whole attack defense thing, and this game is always going to be defender sided. I can't see it ever being attacker sided, because, you know, they have to push them. But definitely Vigil is better than Nøkk, so I'd like to see Nøkk get Vigil's weapon to try and put her in more in line with Vigil. The next thing I'd like to talk about is her gadget, and her gadget is pretty useless, if I'm going to be honest, and it just does not bring that much to the table. Like I said at the beginning part of this video, she can hide herself from cameras. It does show stuff if she starts running or shooting, but for the most part she's pretty immune, and you can potentially get some sneaky kills when you hide behind some cameras. But I like to see her get more direct counters, not just to cameras but to other stuff. For example, we have the new defender Melusi, and her gadget practically slows people down. It looks insanely overpowered, and I've not played it yet, but let's just say I'm definitely not looking forward to Melusi, and she just looks like another operator that they shouldn't have made. But I'm not going to talk about that here. I definitely think Nøkk should be a direct counter to Melusi. If you know that people are going to keep playing those stupid traps that slow you down, and the only way to destroy them is to either shoot them with an explosive or punch them, then obviously if you make Nøkk a counter to that, where when Nøkk activates her ability, she just can't be hit by it because it deflects it or something. I don't know the logistics around it, but let's just make it that she's a counter. That will of course push people into playing Nøkk, because then, you know, you can send your Nøkk in to destroy and punch these gadgets because she's immune to them. That will give her more purpose in this game, and, you know, give her a better role on attack. Now, another thing I'm thinking of, and I am very much thinking of this, but I don't know if they would do this, because this would definitely maybe push Nøkk into an OP spot, but it just depends on how it plays out, is make her a direct counter to Echo. and that's all I really have to say from that. Once she activates her gadget, she cannot be hit by a yokai drone. And I know that doesn't make sense from a story perspective, but Vigil is immune to Lion. Vigil hides from drones. His cloaking device only makes him not be seen on screens, yet Lion's device tracks movement. So if we're going to go off story-wise, Vigil would never be able to counter Lion. But from a gameplay perspective, it just makes sense that someone with a gadget like that can counter Lion. So that's where my thought process is in Nøkk being able to counter Melusi and potentially Echo, just because their gadgets, they just need more purpose than, oh, I can't be seen from a camera. And yeah, it just makes more sense if Nøkk has more direct counters, such as Melusi. And also, like I said, I think she should be a 3-speed. But these are definitely changes that I'd like to see. I don't know if Ubisoft are going to look into changing Nøkk. I do remember a few months ago they did say that they are looking at her loadout. Do I think it will be the K1A? No, I think they'll probably just give her a different SMG that is just better than the FMG9. But that's all I really have to say about Nøkk. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you think Nøkk needs a change, what you think about my changes for Nøkk, and if you change anything different. Drop a like in this video if you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.